Every time the woman cheated on her ex-boyfriend with her after, she brings a cake home to apologize to her husband. In the past, her husband and daughter would always greet her with smiles, but this time, she found the house empty. She walked into her daughter's room and saw that her wasn't on the family portrait drawn by her daughter. It turns out that 6 years ago, the woman gave birth to a daughter, but she never gave her husband or daughter a kind face. She even forbade her daughter from calling her mom, only allowing her to call her aunt. On her daughter's 6th birthday, the girl eagerly hoped that her mom would celebrate the day with her, but even when it was late into the night, her mom hadn't come home. The man thought the woman was busy with work, so he called a few times but got no answer. He had no choice but to celebrate the birthday with his daughter alone. It wasn't until he saw a photo on the social media that he realized the woman was spending the day with her ex-boyfriend's son. Soon after, the woman drunkenly returned home and mistakenly hugged her daughter, thinking she was her ex-boyfriend's son. The daughter was thrilled to be hugged by her mom for the first time, thinking that her mom finally liked her. The man knew very well that the woman didn't love him or their daughter. Even the toys she gave her were just leftover gifts from her ex-boyfriend's son. The man thought it was time to leave the woman, so he drafted a divorce agreement. But the daughter didn't want to leave her mom, so the man made a deal with the daughter. If the mother made the daughter cry 3 more times, they would leave. The next day, the man was going to drive his daughter to school, but the woman took the car, claiming she had a meeting. The man had no choice but to take a taxi to take his daughter to school, which made him late for work and got him scolded by the woman. As the woman opened her laptop to start the meeting, a message popped up on the screen from her ex-boyfriend, asking her out to a couple's restaurant. The employees noticed and began to speculate that her ex-boyfriend was her hidden husband. In order to go on a date with him, the woman delayed an important business project. The man thought that the project he had worked so hard for was no match for a few messages from her ex-boyfriend, so he decisively signed his resignation letter, preparing to leave the country with his daughter. Soon, the woman brought her ex-boyfriend back to the company and publicly appointed him as the vice president. This undoubtedly sparked more gossip among the employees, who speculated that the young boy was their son. Then, the ex-boyfriend walked up to the man and mocked him, saying that even though the man had secured a $1 billion order for the company, the woman had never looked at him. Suddenly, the man received a call from his daughter, saying that the teacher had dropped her off downstairs at the company. When the man went downstairs to pick her up, he happened to see the young boy calling the woman mom. This was the scene the daughter had longed for, but she could only watch from a distance, calling out aunt enviously. In the end, the daughter shed bitter tears. The next day, when the man accompanied his daughter to the parent-teacher meeting at school, he saw the woman's attendance as the mother of her former boyfriend's son. The daughter, wanting to fight for her mom's attention, argued with the boy. Just about everyone was guessing who the lady's husband was. The boy accidentally fell to the ground, but the woman blamed the daughter for pushing him. Even though the daughter explained that she hadn't pushed him, the woman still punished her with a ruler. Seeing his daughter cry again, the man thinks to himself that the woman has one chance left, so he withdrew his daughter from school. After all, the woman would rather be the boy's mom than let her daughter call her mom. The man decided it was time to leave with his daughter. Suddenly, the woman walked over and handed the daughter a cake. The daughter, excited, thought her mom had started to like her again, but little did she know, her mom's intention was to have her give up the class monitor position to the boy. When the man found out that the daughter was eating a mango cake, he immediately became anxious and asked the woman if she didn't know that their daughter was allergic to mangoes. When she saw her daughter having an allergic reaction, she blamed her husband for not telling her about it sooner. The man, angry, told her that she had never truly cared for their daughter. When their daughter was 3, she had an allergic reaction to mangoes and was hospitalized, but the woman only cared about chasing after her ex-boyfriend. Realizing this, the man stopped caring about who became class president, because he had already withdrawn their daughter from school and planned to move abroad with her. However, the woman thought the man was using their daughter's expulsion as a way to threaten her, not believing that he would actually leave her. So, she pushed her daughter away and took her ex-boyfriend's son to the amusement park, completely ignoring her daughter's allergic reaction. When the daughter saw her mother leaving in the car, she cried bitterly. She didn't want to be a child without a mother, and desperately ran after the car in the snow. She accidentally fell to the ground. The woman, seeing this, didn't feel a bit of sympathy. The next day, the daughter told her father that she had intentionally made herself sick the previous day. She had overheard her parents' conversation. The man had planned for the woman to attend the parent-teacher meeting with him, but she said she didn't have time, and would only go if their daughter got sick and needed to be hospitalized. The daughter knew that her mother had used up her last chance, and according to their agreement, she would leave with her father. To fulfill his daughter's wish, the man called the woman to ask her to come to the hospital to take care of their daughter. The woman, however, said she was too busy and hung up. Afterward, the man noticed that the woman was in the opposite room, spending time with her ex-boyfriend's son. The woman was willing to be a mother to another child but not her own daughter. This made the man furious. He thought that if she showed even half the care for their daughter that she did for her ex-boyfriend ex-boyfriend's son, the daughter wouldn't have to make herself sick just to get her attention. Seeing the man leave in anger, the woman hurried to follow him, only to overhear nurses talking about a little girl with a severe fever. That was when she realized her daughter was really sick. The daughter was overjoyed to see her mother walk into the room, but the next moment, her ex-boyfriend appeared, asking the man to give up the VIP room for his son, because his son found it too noisy, claiming that he had an important document that needed her signature. Without looking, the woman signed the document, unaware that it was a divorce agreement, focused only on caring for her ex-boyfriend's son. The woman didn't notice her daughter crying uncontrollably, because the daughter knew she would never have her mother again. The next day, the man sent the woman a message, then took their daughter to the airport. The woman, receiving the message that wished their family happiness, felt something was wrong. She immediately called the man, but he didn't answer. Thinking that the man might be angry, she decided to let her daughter call her mom in public from now on. After work, she went to the cake shop to buy a strawberry cake. However, when she got home, neither the man nor the daughter was there. She waited by the cake for her daughter to return from school. Half an hour later, she finally heard a knock at the door, but when she opened the door, she was deeply disappointed.